It's lovely to see so many of you here this morning. So thanks for coming along. I hope you all had a wonderful summer holidays and got some time to relax. And it probably feels like a very distant memory for you all now, though. It's amazing how fast it all ramps up at the beginning of term, isn't it? But I'm sure you're well into the full throes of everything already. Um, just with regards to today, so I put in an email at the beginning of term. The way that we want to use these meetings going forward are just kind of fast catch ups to tell you about stuff that's going on that you should be aware of, any changes that you should be aware of that you need to implement or anything like that, or any programs that we've got that we're launching. We will then, alongside this, run additional sessions, which will be deeper dives into particular areas of CPD through the year, which obviously are not mandatory at all for you to attend, but obviously we'll put on, and those of you that feel that it'll be useful can obviously sign up to those as well. But these meetings are 3 during the year, I think are really key just to get those really key updates from us in terms of what we feel you need to know. Um, so the agenda is packed full of us just basically giving you the first sort of sight of a lot of the programs that we'll be running this year and how we'll be looking to support you through those and the impact and sort of value of getting engaged in those that can have on your careers program within your school. So you can see the agenda there in front of you. I'm not going to go through it, but it will give you a really good refresh of some of the offerings that we've got. First of all, though, I just wanted to say a massive congratulations to everyone with regards to the benchmarks last year. I know it's not all about the benchmarks, but obviously they're a really good guide for how we are achieving across the county in terms of the careers provision in our schools and colleges. So we, across all schools and colleges, so that's including all our special schools, our FE colleges, and our mainstream secondary, we are achieving an average of 6.1 benchmarks across the board, and that's against the national average of 5.9. So we're achieving really, really well. But I think what's really exciting is the progress that we've made. So if you look at the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see the graph that shows the progress that we've made over the last 6 years as a county in terms of that careers provision. So I just wanted to say a massive thank you to everyone in terms of your hard work, in terms of really delivering something that's really meaningful to us, our students across the county. Something to just also pick up on is those schools in our deprived areas who have a larger percentage of disadvantaged students or students receiving free school meals are actually achieving on average 7 benchmarks. So are actually really pushing things forward in terms of making sure that those young people get the opportunities and get the encounters with employers, get the opportunities to go on experiences of the workplace to really raise their aspirations and see what can be possible for them in terms of their futures. So it's great to see that. And also our special schools are achieving on average 6.5 as well. So great to see that for some of those students who may have certain for more barriers when it comes to looking at what they might do with their futures, it's great to see that the careers provision in those schools is really supporting them in being able to make those key decisions at key times. And we've got 10 schools who are now meeting all 8 of the Gatsby benchmarks. So congratulations to all of you. I know you won't feel that it stops there at all, but a huge congratulations on getting to that point. We are moving this year to having 61 schools in the hub. So that means every single school across the county will now be part of the hub. So welcome to those new schools who some of whom will be on the call this morning. We are continuing to be supported by our enterprise advisors, a really important part of what we do and huge support for all of you. And Susan will chat later with regards to how you can make best use of enterprise advisors, whether they're matched to you or enterprise advisors that we have in the pool that can support you for one-off opportunities and projects. We've got over 300 businesses now engaged with us across the hub, engaged in the various projects that we run, and we have 13 cornerstone employers who work together to look at what they can do as a group of employers to really support our young people. And Susan will give a bit of an update again later on one of the projects that they're launching this year that you'll be able to engage with. In terms of our priorities this year, look very similar to last year, but they're slightly more nuanced. They're very much in line with the overall national priorities that the Careers and Enterprise Company have, but we've just slightly added a few extra local tweaks to them. So first of all, it's that continuation of making sure there's that quality of careers provision, and that's about absolutely the benchmarks, but also the careers impact system, which we spoke to you all about at the end of last year. So really making sure that careers is starting to be spread across whole schools. It's absolutely still being led very much from the front by yourselves as careers leaders, but actually we have more engagement from SLT, from the wider school community, and that distribution of leadership around really understanding the positives and the value that good careers provision can bring in terms of looking at the whole school outcome. Strong focus again about young people moving into positive destinations. So real focus around reducing those young people that become NEET. So making sure we've got opportunities to differentiate provision for students from disadvantaged backgrounds, and for our young people with SEN to make sure that they're getting opportunities right from the start of year 7 to really enhance their awareness of what the future can look like, to make sure they're ready to make decisions about what pathway will suit them best, to make sure they've met relatable role models, that they've seen what a workplace looks like, even within years 7, 8 and 9, which is going to be critical for those young people if we're really going to change their outcomes and their destinations when it comes to year 11 and year 13. Understanding those apprenticeship and technical education routes is still absolutely key, but we're wanting to push that even earlier to make sure young people from year 7 and upwards are really understanding those. Making sure that there's great engagement with employers to have those aspirations raised. So obviously that's something that's always been there, but continuing that great work. And also making sure we're supporting employers as well to engage in the very best way they can do. So make sure that they're engaging in a very inclusive way, that they're making sure they're working with different cohorts of students across the school where the need is the greatest, but also making sure that through that work it's supporting the needs of the future Oxfordshire economy as well. Right, first of all, before we go into the main bulk of it, which is to update you on all of our projects, we wanted to just take oh no, I'm going to hand this bit over to Eleanor. Sorry, I forgot, because I need to do some breakout rooms. So Eleanor, do you want to introduce what we're going to do now?
Fine.
Although I can't even see the breakout rooms up here now. Oh no, I can. Right, go ahead.
Okay. Morning, everyone. So we're going to give you 8 minutes. And what we'd like you to do in your breakout rooms is to share something that was impactful over the last year. So something, it can be successful or impactful. It can also be something that didn't go well, but you learn from it. I think that's really important. Everything doesn't need to be successful all the time. And it doesn't need to be an event either. So you could be a process that you've put in. It could be something that you did that had an impact on particular students or a single student. But we just like you to have a chat to each other and share what went well last year.
Thank you. That's everyone back. Brilliant. Okay, right. I will move on to the next slide. So thank you for taking part in the breakout rooms. Just a couple of very quick things I wanted to update you on before I pass over to Eleanor. One was a reminder for you all about the local resources that we have on our website. And I'm not sure how many of you are using these, and they're always having new ones added to them as well. But please do go on. You can go on directly to the resource library through the link on the top of that slide, and we'll get these slides all out to you after the meeting. But there's lots of resources on there. LMI resources, from lesson plans to posters to curriculum resources for various subjects, from languages to physics to engineering. So please do go on and have a look at those. And the simple way to do it is follow that link, and then you will see there is a search bar there. where you can actually filter for a particular topic. So whether that's you're wanting to find curriculum resources or LMI resources or resources that are particularly attributed to SEND, then you can absolutely search for those through that filter. So really just a reminder to you all that that is all on there, and some really useful local resources for you to have a look through. But also do speak to your enterprise coordinator with regards to some of your needs, and it might be that we've got something that can support through there as well. One of the projects that we've got launching this year, and it's something we piloted last year with a number of schools, but we're happy this year that we're being able to offer this out more broadly across schools, is our Horizons programme. And this is for Key Stage 3 students who are at risk of becoming NEET. It's worked particularly well for Year 9 students, but we wouldn't have an issue with schools sending students in Year 8 or even Year 7 if they felt that might suit the need better. They are half-day workplace visits for small groups of students. So we're talking about maybe 5, maximum of 8 students. And very much the focus is around supporting those young people who maybe we are concerned about, because you know, by the time students join early on, you'll probably have got an awareness of those students that you are concerned about in terms of those who do need their aspirations raised, in terms of ensuring and do need to be able to understand what pathways are available to ensure that they don't become NEET in the future. So it really is focused on giving those students that additional experience of getting out into a workplace at an early stage to really see what those opportunities can look like. And also increase their confidence when it comes for looking for work experience, maybe in Year 10. So for those larger and deeper experiences that they can get later on in their school life, to actually get them ready for those and to get them excited about those, and maybe even make some connections in terms of where they can go for those as well. So very much so the outcome we want to see is really closing that gap for those disadvantaged students when it comes to progressing and going on to sustainable transitions after Year 11 through that project. We are just finalising who is going to be running that for us, and when we've done that, we will be able to get out to you, start to work with you and make you aware of how you can actually engage in that programme. There are going to be opportunities for about 80 groups of students to go out through the course of the year. So I'm hoping all schools will be able to at least have a group of students go out on one of those. But we will work through with you once we've actually got the provider officially signed up to deliver this. We will work through the process of how that will work with you so that you can engage in that programme. But hopefully it will be a great way to really give some extra to support some of those students who maybe just do need that little bit of aspiration raising at that early stage in secondary school. And I am now going to pass over to Eleanor, who is going to bring us up to date. Any questions on anything I've said so far? Sorry, before I pass over to Eleanor. No. No.
Yeah, just one question from me with regards to your Horizon project. Would that be open to SEND pupils as well?
Yes, absolutely. It's open to special schools.
And then does it have to be Year 9s, or can it be older pupils, so Year 10 and 11?
No, it's only Key Stage 3. So only Key Stage 3. So yeah, any years. I mean, if you're in a special school, and it needs, I think we can have some. So Faye, sorry, apologies. Are you from one of our special? Which school are you from?
Yeah.
Then we can have some. Absolutely, we can have some flexibility with our special schools if it's not appropriate for the students in Key Stage 3. I think with mainstream schools, we very much want to keep it with Key Stage 3 because we know there's that opportunity for them to go in Key Stage 4. Most of our schools get their students out on work experience, but I think in special schools, to make sure, absolutely very happy to adapt it so that it works best for whichever students you want to send on that.
Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, Eleanor, over to you.
Hi everyone. So I'm going to be talking to you about the careers impact system. So as Nikki said, we've already spoken to you about this last year, but we're going to be really focusing on this with you this year, and that's for a couple of reasons. One is that it's been really successful in other areas that have trialled it already, and it's had a big impact on the strategic sides of the careers work that's happening in schools, and really making it kind of a whole school process. So where everyone across the whole school is involved, from like SLT all the way down to your admin staff. So it's something that we really want to see implemented in Oxfordshire so that we can have the same positive impact here. I know when we talk about stuff, people often are like, oh, sounds like more work. I think it's obviously it is an extra thing that we're asking you to do, but long term, it really does make your lives a lot easier. And I'm not just saying this, this is what's been shown from people that have done it before. So it really helps to take what you're doing already and put that in that strategic that section of your what's happening in school, and to help identify actions that can be implemented to really support your careers, linking to everything and making it as successful as possible in the school, but linking to all of the aspects of the school. So it's not a massive to-do list for you. It's meant to be a way that we're getting the whole school involved in looking at ways that everyone can feed in and help to improve the careers provision in your setting. And as something that's happening, we're all aware, like your students as well change year on year, your cohorts change. So doing this will help you see what's happening with your cohorts as well, and put kind of things in place to make sure that your provision is suitable for all of them as they're coming through your schools. Next slide, please, Nikki. So this is an example. I didn't think this was the order of the slides. I think it's been shifted around. Anyway, so this is one of the themes that was. So there's 5 themes in total. This is just an example of one of them. So
sorry, Eleanor, it's the video, isn't it? But for some reason it's still hiding itself on me. So do you want me to? Do you want me to? Can you see that now?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, right. I'll show. Do you want me to show the video now?
Yes,
Apologies, it was still hiding itself.
I can't see anything.
Sorry, Sharon, you said we couldn't see it. Well, it's in the slides, but we'll share it with you afterwards. But yeah, if you could hear it, to be honest, that's the most useful bit anyway. Sorry about that. I don't know if anyone else had problems with it. So this is one of the themes. So there are 6 themes, and this is theme 2. So on the left it starts with I guess if you're kind of in your earlier stages of your program, and on the right is when it's really progressive, embedded, and that's yeah, when it's kind of more mature. So you basically go through looking at the ones that where you sit, literally just circling them. And then next slide, please, Nikki. And then there's different ways of approaching it. So the way that obviously you're very important to this because you have overview of what's happening. So you can do it kind of with the head teacher where you complete it and then take it to the head teacher. You can also do it where you're collaborating with your SLT. So you could have a meeting with them and do it together. That particularly works with those of you who've got that kind of SLT link that you work with. You can also engage your governors as well. And then the one that people have said is probably best is where you do the work either on your own or with SLT, with your SLT link to come up with where you think you are. So you go through kind of doing that, I guess, circling or highlighting activity. And then you have a meeting with other members of SLT, your head teacher, and if possible, kind of at least a couple of governors to talk about where you're at and where you're looking at. And that's where you can start on that kind of looking at improving things and how you're going to put that across the whole school. Next slide, please, Nikki. So the other element to this is if you would like to, we can also support you to be part of a peer-to-peer review. So once you've done your own internal review, you can then take that and we can link you up with up to 2 other schools, and we'll facilitate you to kind of go through that together and look at what you're doing well, where you need support. And this again is something that originally when they did the pilot, this was part of what everyone did, but they're kind of scaling it back because not everyone necessarily has the time to do that currently. But again, there was really positive feedback from this, helping to problem solve and come up with ways that you could try things together, or kind of feedback about what works in your setting. And yeah, a really good way to share best practice across your schools. So we'll also be contacting you about this, and if you'd like to get involved, let us know. And we can set the groups up differently, so we can mix the different schools up. We could have a group from a particular trust working together. There's lots of ways we can do it. Next slide, please. So this is a quote from one of the schools saying how impactful it was and how it really helps to progress and move their careers programme on, to really bring it to that whole school and that strategic level. Just leave it there for you to read for a second. Next slide, thank you. So one of the things where I should have added, so Nikki's going to be getting an email out. She did speak to your head teachers at their conference last term, and people were really interested and keen to look at this review. So yeah, your head teachers do already know about this, but she's going to send out another email to them as well, just explaining how they can start doing it and how they can work with you on that. Nikki, the careers leaders will be CC'd in that, won't they? Yeah, so you'll be CC'd in that as well. And then the other bit that we're bringing in to support with this is looking at how we're using the tools that the Careers and Enterprise Company provide. So there's kind of a 4-step training program, I guess, for you, and it's spread over the next couple of terms. The first one we're offering 2 different times, but for the other ones, we've just got them in the afternoon. If that really doesn't work for anyone, if you can just let us know, either let your enterprise coordinator know, or you can just pop it in the chat or let me know and I can sort that out. So the first one is looking at how you're, once you've done your internal leadership review, how you then record that on Compass. And the lady we've got delivering this she works part-time for the Careers and Enterprise Company delivering this, but she's also a careers leader as well, very much with her strategic hat on as a careers lead. She's got careers coordinators underneath her, so she can share what she's done and how it's helped her and things like that, which we thought would be helpful for you all. So that's on the 23rd, and that will be at 9 or at 3, so you can pick which one suits you best. Then there's one on the 11th of December about the future skills questionnaire, and particularly we've asked them to talk about that evaluation piece as well, because we've offered this to you before, but we really want to look at how you can use the stuff that comes out of that to actually inform what you're going to continue doing. Then the next one is in after Christmas on the 22nd of January, and that's looking at all of the features of Compass Plus and how you can use them. And then there's how to fully embed Compass Plus as well in March, so at the end of the year. So hopefully by the end of this year, you'll kind of all know how to better use Compass in your settings. I'll be sending these calendar invites out over the next few days, so you'll have them in your in your diaries. Next slide, please. I'm just going to answer Teresa's question. So is there a time limit on completing them? I presume you mean the internal leadership. in some senses, yes, in the sense that we need you to get it done within the academic year. So that obviously it's a reflection of what you're doing there. But no, there isn't a particular, you don't have to do it within a day or whatever. However long it's going to take you. I think particularly if you're going to be engaging multiple people, it will obviously take you a little bit longer to set those meetings up. But what we would like people to do is try and get them in before Christmas or the early part of next year, just so then we've got some time for the rest of this academic year to put things in and help support you do that. I hope that answers your question. And then the other bit is that there's been an update to the Future Skills Questionnaire resources. So over summer, they've updated. So there's now PowerPoint for students. It's a new video we're going to show you in a second. And there's also a template letter for your parents and carers as well. So that should help you do all of that kind of before you actually launch it. And then that should help you with your the number of students that are actually completing the questionnaire. And there's a link there that will in the slides for you to have a look at later. Next slide and play the video, please, Vicky. Sorry, Sharon, if this doesn't work either, we will send it to you. It's only 2 minutes. It's over to Aoife, isn't it? Yeah.
Morning, everybody. It's my turn. Can you hear me? Perfect. Cool. Okay. Hi, everybody. Hope you're well. I am here to talk about Careers Fest once again. So thank you very much for all your support with our annual Careers Fest event. Just a little roundup to show you what happened in March last year, and just to show you how impactful you guys and parents and students and carers and as well as employers find the event. So it was held at the CASAM for the second year in March. We had over 73 exhibitors attending. Almost 3,000 students came from across 32 schools. So thank you so much for bringing them. We had the most successful twilight session we've ever had this year. Almost 800 students and their parents came to the out of hours twilight session. So again, thank you so much for all your support in promoting all of it. One thing we tried last year as a new thing was asking the exhibitors to contribute towards travel costs in return for them attending and having access to you guys. This was really successful. It meant we were able to give you guys some money towards coach costs, and it's something that we're doing again this year for our next year even for our 2025 Careers Fest, which you've all received the invitation for. A lot of you have booked already, but I'll go into that in a minute. So in the comments here on the chat, while I'm talking, I have just put some quotes that we've had from last year, just to show you the different aspects of what people thought who attended. So we've got a careers lead quote there, parents quote, students quote, and an employer quote. So I'll give you some time to have a look at that. You don't need me to read that out to you. Yeah, next slide, please. Have I got time to show the video, Nikki? Perfect. I'm just going to show you the little video that we did, which some of you will remember, some of you students and you guys were involved in, which just showcases how the event went. Shall I press play? There we go. Oh, perfect. Thank you. So just a little bit now on the coming year's event. As I said, you've already received the invite. Those are the dates. The link to book is there. It's also in the email. Funding for transport will be confirmed after Christmas once we've had all the bookings from employers in. And again, we're running another twilight session, which we will need your help with promoting, please. I will be sending out a follow-up email to the invite this morning, which will tell you it's booked up really, really fast. We do have some spaces remaining. So you will need to book ASAP if you want to bring some students. In the email I'm going to send out this morning, it will have exactly how many spaces are left on each session. So it will give you an idea about when you can come and what we've got left. Any questions, please just let me know. As per usual, I'm looking after the school side of things, and our Susan is doing all the employer exhibitor side. So please just get in contact if you've got any other questions. Yeah, so that's everything on Careers Fest. Something else I just wanted to chat to you guys about was the Apprenticeship Ambassador Scheme that you'll all be aware of. I know we've got some new careers leaders here on the call. So just a little update. We already have a good cohort of ambassadors. I know some of you have been requesting ambassadors, and it's not always possible to get somebody to come along to your events to talk and that sort of thing. So we're going to try and really ramp that up this year by including their line managers, that sort of thing. Maybe just a bit more training, a bit of support from us when they're coming to do these things. So please do go onto our website, links here, use our resources to book an ambassador, and do get in contact with me if there's any issues or any questions that you have to ask. If you want to have a look at our current cohort, again, the link is there. It's all on our website. And we do have a new cohort of ambassadors being trained up in November. So they'll be ready to take up, and hopefully they'll be feeling quite empowered to go out and support you with what you've got going on at your schools and different events. And I think that's everything from me.
Thanks, Aoife. And now it's over to me, and I think I'm probably last. So just a few things I want to talk to you about, starting with your enterprise advisors. Most of you have got a matched enterprise advisor. Some of you won't. Some of you will have an enterprise advisor working with you in an agile capacity. And that means that we've got enterprise advisors who are happy to work across sort of several schools, or they may specialise in one particular thing, like they might work more strategically with schools, or they might want to come and do LinkedIn presentations. If you haven't got an enterprise advisor and would like one, please get in touch. It's ongoing recruitment for enterprise advisors, so we're always promoting the role, always talking to employers, asking them if they've got any employees who'd like to take on the role. So please just shout if you haven't got one and you would like one. And as I say, we've got enterprise advisors who are very happy to work across several schools, so can come in and support activities for you. This is really about making the most of your enterprise advisors. Some of you have got them and not sure that you're including them in as much as you could probably be including them in. So this is a menu of choice that we've drawn up for our enterprise advisors. They've all had access to this, and it's really to get them thinking about how they could be supporting schools with particular activities. So I thought I'd share this with you so you can see what we've put to them, so you can start thinking about how you might like to start using your enterprise advisor in a better way. So it may be in some schools they're offering to do one-to-one mentoring with some younger students, specific cohorts of students. Some of them are working with more disadvantaged students in years sort of 7 or 8 or even 9. They might come in and do a presentation on labour market information for you, to talk about various sectors in Oxfordshire, where those growth sectors are. They may come and talk about the sector that they work in. Some are doing presentations on LinkedIn for year 12s and 13s, getting them set up with a profile, and also helping the school track alumni and sort of getting alumni back into school for you. That if you haven't got a LinkedIn account, they can help you set that up as a school. Teacher encounters, they may be able to offer an opportunity for one of your teachers to go into their business, workplace visits for your students, offering work experience for your students as well. Some are very happy to come and help out with your campus evaluations. It's always good to have a second opinion on what you're doing. A bit of a critical friend, play the devil's advocate and question sort of responses that you're putting in for that. Using social media, again, LinkedIn, maybe Facebook. Lots of us, starting to talk about maybe we should be doing more with TikTok. And when we're recruiting enterprise advisors, we're always saying to them that as an individual, they're really important, but what it is that they bring to the school most of all is their network. So if you've got activities, they can be promoting those activities to their wider network and getting volunteers to come in and sort of support your events in school. They may be happy to present to the Board of Governors with you around the careers programme, get extra support from SLT and governors. do some staff CPD with you, talk about the importance of careers in the curriculum, pathways, post 16, post 18. So really, they could be helping you with your strategic planning, also helping you with the events. So just use them as much as you can. Last year, we talked about the possibility of getting them to come in and present to your students that are attending Careers Fest. So we always send out a presentation pack for you to present to your students. So it may be that you ask your EA to come in and talk to your students about the importance of Careers Fest and how they should be preparing for it. And then, of course, there's always the opportunity to ask them to talk about apprenticeships and technical education pathways, if that's something that they feel confident in doing. And lastly, they can come in with their commercial hat on. Is there funding that you need? Do you want funding with transport? Do you want funding to send students off to a particular event? They may have access or ideas about how you can approach local companies around funding. Thank you, Nikki. Next slide. So lots of you are using our events page on Oxford Skills. Not all of you are, though. So I'm just going to share my screen for a moment, if this works. Hopefully it does. And okay, if you can just let me know that you can see this. Anybody? I can't see anybody, so if somebody could just say you can.
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah.
Okay, lovely.
Yeah, we can see it.
Good. So this is our Oxford Skills page. Lots of information. Nikki spoke about the resources on here. So if you go to this menu here and scroll down, you've got everything you need to find under schools and colleges here. Nikki spoke about the local resources that are there, information about the Careers Hub. If you keep scrolling down and go on to events, I'm hoping this is all, you can see this as it's going through. So these are events that schools have already put on here. So you can see Squirrelcliff Park School looking for work experience opportunities. We've got our employer training happening next week, this week, in fact, tomorrow. Post 16 evening being advertised there for Gillet's School, Cheney looking for work experience. So this is an amazing tool for you to be using to be promoting activities that you want employers to come in and support you with. So keep scrolling down to the bottom, and here you hit submit event. It's very, very simple. So it says use the form below to share details. So you can come in here, put in your details, event name, date, etc. Where, and there's an opportunity, you can put a little bit of information about it, the address of the school. Then this comes to us, we will publish it for you, and then it appears on this page. And all the employers that we're talking to, we're signposting them here, and we're saying to them, please go on every week, every couple of weeks, see what the latest opportunities are there for you. There you are. I'll stop sharing now. And it's working. Schools that are using it are getting employers contacting them directly. So it's all about making this relationship with employers more sustainable. We may not be around forever. So it's getting employers coming to you directly rather than coming to us first of all, asking us what activities they can support, then coming to you. So it's an opportunity for you to put those details on there. Okay, Nikki, next slide, please. So teacher encounters, you should have all had information about this. This information has also gone out to your head teachers. This is teacher encounters again, an opportunity for you and a teacher, at least one teacher from your school, to come down to Satellite Applications Catapult in Harwell on the 2nd of October, where we're going to be launching our Teacher Encounters programme for this year. There's an opportunity to have a networking lunch with the employers. We'll be talking a bit about what Teacher Encounters is all about, and you'll also be hearing from Wheatley Park School and Oxford Biomedica about how they worked together last year, the science teachers with Oxford Biomedica, to create teaching resources around gene therapy that's being taught in Key Stage 3 and Key Stage 5. So we're doing it slightly differently this year. We're using this launch event for teachers to come along, network with employers, and find an employer that matches something that they're sort of teaching within school. And we're hoping that on the back of that, they will organise an encounter at a time that suits them, a day that suits them. So it's not, again, it's not us facilitating it all the time. It's handing that relationship between the teacher and the employer for them to move forwards with organising that meeting. Of course, we're around to help, support. We'll need teachers to register, let us know where they're going, and employers will be doing the same. But it's really, again, trying to widen the opportunity for teachers to have those encounters with employers. If you haven't done already, please sign up and get a teacher to come along with you to come along to that event. There's a hand up. Should I take it? Is that Stuart? Is that a question about this? Or was that a previous hand?
Yeah, hi. No, thanks for that. It's all really interesting so far. Just a question about this. Is it aimed at a particular subject, science, maths, or any subject?
No, I should have said, so really importantly, it's for any subject. So we're launching it down at Satellite Applications Catapult, but the message that we've given to them and all other employers is that this is not about STEM. We want teachers to come somewhere like Satellite Catapult, where they'd be thinking, oh, you know, you can only work here if you've got a subject, you know, in STEM. It's not that. We've got people coming from comms, from HR, from finance. So it will be suitable for any teachers to come along to. And we'd really encourage teachers, you know, that aren't from STEM backgrounds as well. Okay, Nikki, next slide, please. And finally, I think this is my last one, mock assessment centre days. This is another really exciting thing that we're doing this year. We've been working really closely with our cornerstone employers. There's 13 of them that we're working with, Siemens, Abbott, Rebellion, Grundon, OAS, Oxfordshire County Council, Tokamak, Williams Jet Tenders, Les Manoirs, Morgan Sindall, Blenheim, NHS and RAF. Very quick rundown of those. And we've identified as a group, and they've all done, it's a bit like Compass Tour that you do for yourselves. They've done self-evaluation on their school outreach called Employer Standards. And they've recognised, and this is also the national picture, that they're not doing enough work around preparing young people for mock assessment centres. So it's interview opportunities, but not just mock interviews. They need that wider sort of group observation tasks, you know, as if they were going for an apprenticeship mock assessment centre. So the cornerstone employers are working together. They're going to be running these days with our support. So with the first 2 dates, November and January, are very much aimed at year 11 and 13 students. They need to be genuinely looking for an apprenticeship that they're going to be applying for in 2025. So it's very targeted for, you know, particular students. Those second 2 dates are going to be, it's not, you know, we're not saying year 11s and 13s, you know, they can't come, but we're thinking that will be more for year 10s and 12s who are thinking about going for an apprenticeship in, you know, in the following year. It's limited to 40 students per session, so that's 160 students across all 4 sessions we'll be able to accommodate. Information will be going out for that. It'll be a first come, first serve, but we are going to limit it. We haven't quite decided, but probably 5 students per school. You know, not all schools will have the opportunity, but maybe not all schools will have students that want to take part. So we're going to see how it goes. Obviously, if one school's got 10 students and another 3 schools haven't got any students, then we'd say to that school that they could bring that many students. So again, information will be coming out about that. Is that me done? I think it is. Another slide? Are we on to AOB?
Yes.
There we are.
That's
Fantastic.
it.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Susan. Right, I will turn that off. So thank you very much to everyone for that. For all the presentations. Hopefully that's just highlighted some of the projects. There will be other bits and pieces that pop up along obviously through the year, but that gives you an overview of some of the sort of the major projects that we've got going on this year that we're going to be running to support you. Does anyone have any questions at all? I realise we've got just a minute left, so yeah, does anyone have any questions or queries? But obviously you can always either follow up directly with your EC or come back to me. I will send out the notes from this, the slides, which have got all the links in, so you can rewatch the videos if you couldn't see them first time, or you can share them more broadly. But yeah, if there's anything else you need, do just get in touch with any of us. Perfect. I think there's no questions. I hope you all hopefully that means we answered them all, and hopefully we'll have a good term, and do get in touch if you've got any questions. But thank you very much for coming on this morning.
Thanks, everyone.
Goodbye. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks. Bye bye.
Thank you.